Hi, I'm Miss Malini and I'm having a super fun time at the Glamour Studio with Pallavi Simmons, who's going to show you how to get this sexy, seductive, lovely look for February. So keep watching.
Hi, I'm Pallavi Simmons, your makeup expert on Glamourist.com. Well, today for the cover edition of this month, we are featuring somebody that everybody knows as India's first virtual gossip girl. So please meet Miss Malini. It's a pleasure to have her at the Glamourist studio this evening.
It's so nice to be here and I'm so excited.
We know her to be sexy, sassy and very spunky. And we're going to take a bit of her personality and, kind of make a look on her that you can emulate later.
You know what happens is that everyone thinks of us as these little geeks who sit on a computer and type
I
all
can
day.
imagine, yeah.
But I love getting dressed up and going out and, that's what I do. I run around on Instagram and tweet and do all those things and you need to look pretty when you do it.
Well, I've prepped Malini as I always do with models. So I've used a primer just beneath her foundation, so like a bridge between her skincare and her foundation. Now, like I said, we're going to do a really intense eye. So I don't want any of the spill to happen on her cheeks. I'm just using a fair amount of that just below her eye, but going upwards.
So should you do this every time you put on eyeshadow?
Yeah, if you're using a very dark eyeshadow and you're sure that it's going to spill and fall. I'm going to start with a gel liner by L'Oreal. It's called a super liner. I'm going to use this as a base, firstly to create a kind of shape so I know where I'm going with this look. But while you're doing that, keep a blending brush handy as well. So I'm just going to sweep a good amount of this gel liner. Now you have to work really quickly because these products dry very quickly. Go in right from the inner corner of her eye. And if you notice, I'm just winging it up. I'm just going to softly blend that off. So you already created a base for a very intense dark eye. I'm just going to repeat the same thing on the other side as well. So that's the base. I'm going to start with the Inglot eyeshadow N63. It's a matte black. I'm using a very small paddle brush for eyeshadow. I'm going to place it where I want the color to be strongest. Just work it into the corners, pat it down, blend towards the inside. And as you can see, I'm picking the black up. I'm going to do that on the other eye as well. I'm going to use Faces 197. It's a matte eyeshadow, but it's a slate. Using a blending brush, I'm just going to work the color over and soften it towards the brow bone. I'm using a good dab of L'Oreal's La Couleur Infallible eyeshadow. It's a frosted blue eyeshadow. It's really dark. So I'm going to take a good amount of it on a paddle brush and simply press it onto her eyeball, like that. So it just intensifies this whole look. Now work it along the shape of your eye. So you want this inner corner to be pretty clean. Now using a clean brush, take a dab of the grey that you used earlier. Don't get too much in the inner corner of the eye. You want this look to go upwards like this. So keep this inside sloping down. And now I'm going to fix the black because I want the black to get more intense.
So can you do this look with different colors as well? Like a smoky eye with like a brighter color?
A nice deep green, jewel, something deep, even a deep plum. Violets look great on Indian skin. I'm going to use a Revlon Black Coal inside the eye and outside, and I'm going to blend it with the blue eyeshadow. I'm just going to make a really rough, not very tidy line. So if you can see, I'm just turning it this way and using not just the point, and using a pencil blending brush, just going to smoke that into quite a strong, low smoky eye. Using a bit of the black eyeshadow, I'm going to set that so that will make sure that your product doesn't bleed after some time, particularly in the corner. And closer to the inner corner, I'm going to use a bit of this blue. So when light catches it, you can see a bit of that color. And I'm going to just repeat the same thing on the other eye. There's one thing that I love to pair with dark, intense eyes, and that is to bring a bit of light to the look. So I'm going to use a white eyeliner. It's an Inglot Precision eyeliner, white one, just to brighten that corner. Work it into the blue a bit and repeat on the other eye. Now I'm going to add a pigment on there. So I'm going to use a NYX pigment. It's an Ultra Pearl pigment. It's a beige gold. So I'm going to just pack it on like that. Dust off excess and just sweep it into the corner that has the base. Use a clean brush and softly blend it. Now I've sharpened the same pencil and I'm going to use it inside her eye. Put a good amount of this kajal inside. Work it into the lashes, you kind of mush the color in. I'm just going to repeat on the other side. Well, although I'm going to use false lashes, I'm going to use a mascara that is going to amp up that look. My lashes are going to get a nice curl. I'm going to use a mascara by L'Oreal. And I'm going to make her close her eyes. So I can grab both the lower and upper lashes. You can't obviously do this on yourself, but the point is that you get an even coat right along your lash line. And this way I can get as close to the root.
How many coats of mascara is good for a look like this?
Well, ideally if you're not wearing false lashes, I would give it at least 2 coats. I'm going to use a set of false lashes on her, which I've cut to size. But if you're not, then wait for the first coat to dry and give it another go. That instantly picks up the shape. Well, I'm just going to use the mascara again, just to join the falsies with her real ones.
How often should you be changing your mascara? I've heard various different...
At least just every 3 months.
Okay. Is it because it gets dry or it's just...
Not just dry, just like hair anywhere else, lashes have mites as well.
Oh.
So what you're actually doing is inducing bacteria back into your product.
Right.
So that's the eyes done, and progress to the cheeks. I'm using a Blunt blush by MAC. It's a gorgeous reddish brown and it's perfect for contouring, it's very matte. So I'm just going to contour her face just a bit here. What I'm doing is picking up the cheekbone.
So when you contour, can you contour in the day as well, or is that too obvious?
Of course, especially if you have foundation on, it looks great because otherwise it just looks like a blank canvas.
Yeah.
The more you shape a face, the better it looks. So I'm just going to add a bit over here, just to concentrate, focus the brightness in the center of the face. So I'm just going to deepen this part of her face, closer to the hairline and ears, down the jawline, under. Just makes everything sharper. Just quickly repeating on the other side. I'm just going to go over with Estee Lauder's blush. I'm using a large powder brush and using a nude rose color. I don't want too much color on the cheeks. It's just to kind of blend the contouring powder in. Now to top that, I'm going to do the tiniest bit of sheen on her cheekbones. So what that'll do is it's going to further pick up her cheekbones. I'm using an Inglot brick. So I'm going to just mix that around and you get a nice skin color. I don't want the shimmer to be jumping off her face because there's quite a bit of a focal point on her eyes. You just only want to pick up that part of your cheekbone into the hairline. Yeah, and just use the same on the other side. I'm using a L'Oreal lip pencil in Toffee. That's not very nude. Slightly pinkish brown tone. So what I'm going to do is just create a nice base. It's a perfect natural base, I think, and one that would work across several skin tones. I'm using a Faces lipstick called Mulberry Slush. It's a beautiful berry color, really soft. And to finish that off, I'm just using a clear Body Shop gloss because I don't want to change the color too much. So now that we're done and we have achieved something that we set out to do, there's Malini looking very seductive and very sultry.
But it's definitely worth it. I love this look. I think it's really fun and sexy and sort of mysterious, which is what we're trying to be, all gossip girly.